Rabbi Cooper, thank you for joining us. We know you from the Simon Wiesenthal Center, and now you're also, in addition to that, have taken on another task. Can you tell us what that is?
USCIRF is the United States Commission on International Religious Freedom. It's mandated by Congress. It's all voluntary. We're commissioned actually to be, if you will, an internal critic of American policies and push for more compliance and more changes among the 27 countries that we look at in the area of religious freedom. We're now up to, I think, 2,000 prisoners of conscience around the world. That means people who are paying a heavy price for being faithful, Christians and Muslims and Hindus and others. We look at about 27 countries, and unfortunately leading the pack among religious minorities suffering the most are Christians around the world, starting with China and the Coptics, and mentioned just now Nicaragua. Don't have time to talk about Nigeria, but it's a long, long list, and I consider it to be an honor as someone who's worked at the Wiesenthal Center for 45 years to represent my commitment as an American and as a religious Jew to the broader goal of religious freedom for all.
Can you say what the worst thing is that you've seen? And also, if you've seen anything that has corrected itself and been challenged and corrected.
So, just to talk about some of the positive things, and it's not necessarily because of USCIRF. When you see that Saudi Arabia has made a U-turn in terms of not allowing Islam to be weaponized to focus on Americans and hatred against Jews, there's been significant progress in the books, school books. The negative side, in the Vietnamese regime, understands the rules of the game, and what they've done is basically created the false sense that there's religious freedom because they essentially co-opt all the leadership and they dictate what has to take place. They're almost using the China model, where if you want to be a Christian leader, a faith leader in China, you better sign on to the political agenda. If you don't, they'll knock your church down and probably put you away. And when you think about it, the right to pray to God, to believe, that's the litmus test for human dignity, for human freedom, and probably for the health of any society. When we're looking about who we should be backing in the world in terms of foreign policy, if you have a regime that weaponizes religion or throws people in jail or worse because they look a little bit different and they pray differently, those are not regimes that the United States should be calling allies. Now that's saying a lot. It's a complicated world out there, but at least we have the opportunity to put forth what was and is a central tenet of America, which is freedom of religion.
Well, yeah, that's right. Maybe just tell me briefly.